Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome back to part 3 of today's reading. So I'm about to read for you a poem that was created by Abdullah ibn al-Hur, who I don't know who this man is, but he may be, it doesn't say here, but he may be the son of General Hur, who switched sides. He was the general of one of the battalions of Yazid's army, and he switched sides to fight and give his life for Imam Hussain and his cause and for the sake of Islam. So he lost his life in the battle, but alhamdulillah, he said his shahada before going into battle, and therefore he died as a mu'min. Alhamdulillah, became a martyr. So this could be his son, Abdullah ibn al-Hur. I'm not sure. Could be, might not be, but could be his son. Anyways, it says Abdullah ibn al-Hur fled Kufa after being accused of disloyalty. He headed towards Karbala, but reached the battlefield only after the dust had settled. When he saw the bodies that lay on the desert sands, he said the following poem. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A truly treacherous governor says, "Why did you not fight the martyr, the son of Fatima? But my remorse is that I could not aid him, and every soul that is not supported to reach such a state is remorseful. I weep, for I could not be with his guardians, and my guilt is unceasing and ever present. May Allah serve this company that supported him with pure and ceaseless rainwater. I stand at the corpses surrounding the camp. My heart was about to burst as my eyes were streaming. By Allah, they were determined in battle. They ran to the battlefield as sacrificing protectors. They cheered each other as they supported the son of their prophet's daughter. With their swords, they were like lions protecting a watering hole. If they were to be killed, then every pious soul on this earth is saddened for the tragedy. No one has ever seen superiors to these men. They are masters in their death and noble in their lifetime. Do we kill them in our oppression when they only seek our good? We have rejected any plan that did not match our whim. I swear you, meaning the Umayyad state, have forced us to fight against them. So you will find many men and women indignant in rage against you. I will journey on, hoping that I will lead a battalion against a group that has rejected justice and maintained oppression. So stop, or else I will come to you with flanks more powerful than the armies of the Persians." There were also men whose conscience woke after they had done their deed. Amongst them was Radi ibn Munqidh al-Abdi, who lamented the following: "If Allah had willed, I would not have been in the camp of their enemies, and neither would Ibn Jabir be able to gloat vaingloriously. That day was a shame and a blemish that we will be reproached for by our sons and kin. How I wish that before that day in which I fought against Hussain, I were quieted in a dark grave." It's horrifically sad and ironic that a nation who was brutally oppressed ended up fighting the one and only person who was willing to sacrifice his life to lift that oppression for his nation. This feeling of guilt would remain inflamed in the emotions of the nation, a constant call towards revolution and vengeance. It pushed people to revolt against the Umayyad state whenever an opportunity arose. This flame never exhausted its fuel. The guilt never died out. It nagged the nation to pay penance in blood. It nagged the nation for revolution against the Umayyad rule. Okay. Next chapter is called A New Ethic. A true revolution is a final and conclusive demonstration against the current realities of life. After all other methods of reform fail, revolution becomes an inevitable fate. As we have seen since late last year, a certain nation in the Middle East, having been oppressed brutally for so long and having tried everything it could possibly try before revolting. Peaceful protests, did they work? No. Political reform, did that work? No. Negotiations, did that work? No. Nothing worked. So what's left? Revolution. That's it. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them victory, inshallah. Those who carry out a true revolution are the healthiest faction of society. They are the vanguard. They are the few, the elite, who were not held captive by the realities of their time. They were able to find the higher ground away from the evils of their circumstances. But they still knew and felt what was going on around them. They reacted to it. They were tormented by it. Revolution becomes the fate of these select individuals. It becomes their inevitable lot when all other means of reform fail. They lose their sense of purpose if they don't revolt. The vanguard must have a historical role, and they cannot be called the vanguard if they do not fulfill it. A revolution must be the herald of a new ethic if it occurs in a society without a civil and religious heritage that would guarantee for its individuals, if correctly applied, an excellent human life. If the society has any such heritage, a revolution must revive the principles and values that society has abandoned or distorted. The latter was exemplified in the condition of the Muslim nation during the Umayyad rule. The Umayyad dynasty had deserted Islam, interpreting it in direct contradiction to its true teachings and using its name to revive the Moors of the age of ignorance. Thus, a purpose existed for the vanguard to rise up and change this deplorable reality. The existence of this purpose is one of the pillars of a true revolution. When human interactions become degraded to the most vile and corrupt, and society begins to break down and degenerate, a revolution becomes the only cure. The call for a better moral life than society's current practice is important. Each individual's view of himself, others, life, and humanity must change for true reform to take hold. At such a time, Imam Hussain alayhi salam and his companions provided the most pure and vivid examples of Islamic ethics. They presented this not with their tongues, but they wrote it with their blood. Rather, they wrote it with their lives.